Hey everyone. So I wanted to kind of give an update on some different stuff that has been going on with me. Some of you, if you've been on rotation the last few weeks, I've mentioned it, but I think by this point, just about everybody's been on rotation, and I haven't been singing or practices and stuff like that. And one of those reasons was to save voice for service, but one of the main reasons I've had a bunch of issues going on, like internally down in my vocal cords. Knew something wasn't right, and week to week it just kept getting worse, and it took me longer to heal up, and just didn't feel like I had much control. My voice was always hurting even when I wasn't singing, and would just basically not have to talk the whole week to get ready for Sunday. It just kept getting worse. So anyways, I went to the ENT this morning, and found out some news. Best way to put it, it wasn't the worst case scenario, but there was a little bit more going on than I intended. And so basically, it was just going to be easier to explain everything in a video rather than email. I just feel like that works a little better. It's a little bit more personal as well. Um, but found out that I have vocal nodules on either side of my vocal cords, a good number of them actually. They're a little bit lower down here. And good news is that those are things that can go away on their own. I do have a start of a polyp over here, and it's resting right over a blood vessel, which is good news and bad news. The good news, it's not attached to it, so it doesn't have life per se. It's something that can go away on its own. But the ENT was saying I was about 2 to 3 weeks out from it getting so bad that it would attach because it would grow large enough, and that would require vocal surgery. So, anyways, so that's one of the biggest things. The other thing is I have some type of weird, rare infection that's in my throat, and now it's spreading up into my nasal cavities. It is not contagious at all. He said he's only seen it like 10 or 12 times, but it just has happened. And so, because everything's so infected, it's making the nodules grow worse because it can't heal up. And so, then when I'm singing on Sundays and talking and doing those things, it's just inflaming it. It keeps growing worse, and so it can't get better. And then on top of that, I also found out I have chronic acid reflux, which I would have never thought, but apparently it's bad at night for me, is what he's thinking. And so again, it's just causing more inflammation. It's just bad right now. So give me some serious antibiotics to take over this next month, and then probably take some medication for a long time for the acid reflux stuff. But that should be handled well. The thing I'm more worried about is the nodules and the possible polyp continuing to form. And so with that, he have a follow-up appointment in 1 month from today. But no talking for 3 weeks. Nothing. No singing for 4 weeks until I go back, and they can stick a scope back down my throat and see what's going on. The talking, I said absolutely no talking, or is there like one time during the week where I could? And he said for like Sundays for practice, if I just talked super straight, not much compression on my vocal cords, not straining, anything like that, keeping it minimal, I can talk to give some direction. But other than that, silent basically till September. And then even then, we'll see where everything's at, and going through vocal therapy and all that stuff, because he said my throat is just beat up right now because of everything. So best case scenario, no surgery, everything gets better with time. Worst case is if I just kept doing these things, then that requires vocal surgery, and that's a really long time, like 3 to 4 months of nothing, complete silence. So praise God it is not that. But now, just if you guys wouldn't mind praying for me, and that things get better. I think most of you know me well enough by now that me not talking and singing is hard. The amount of sarcastic comments that come into my mind, and just me being my dumb self, it's hard for me not to talk and say those things. You're probably going to see a stupid smirk on my face for most of this time, because I'm going to be thinking stuff I want to say and I can't. So, anyways, I'm have it now on my face. Anyways, but yeah, just it's a weird thing for me to think about. I don't want to act like this is the end of the world, because it's not. But it is something I am very anxious about and nervous about, just hoping that everything heals, because this is what I do. This is, my form of worship to God. And obviously, as a worship pastor, you want to be able to sing, you want to be able to talk and lead and give direction. And so it's just kind of confusing. Things will look a little different. All I ask is that we're in this together. I think these Sundays that we've been back have been some of the best we've had overall, honestly. I hope most of you agree with that. But I really feel like it has been great and it's going to continue to be good. And like with anything, there can be some really positive things that come out of this, and we can just grow closer as a group and just keep getting better. I know this video is getting long, so I don't want to go any longer, but just know I'm pretty much not going to be talking. If you need something, please email or text. I'll still be playing something on a Sunday, but for the most part, I'll talk to you guys in September, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, guys, I'm praying for you. Please be praying for me, and be praying for Alex and I as we go through this time, and we'll just go from there. But thank you guys, and talk to you in September.